The story of Never Split the Difference unfolds in modern times. Written by Chris Voss, a former FBI hostage negotiator, the book introduces a powerful approach to negotiation. It isn't just for boardrooms or business deals. The lessons apply to all kinds of negotiations, from buying a car to resolving conflicts at home. Chris Voss brings his experience from life-or-death situations into everyday life, making the principles both gripping and practical. Voss starts with a bold idea. He tells us that compromise, splitting the difference, is often the wrong move. In a hostage situation, splitting the difference might mean losing lives. In real life, it can mean settling for less than you deserve or need. Instead of meeting halfway, he teaches how to aim for better outcomes while building trust and understanding with the other party. One of the key ideas in the book is that negotiation is about emotion, not just logic. People often think rational arguments and facts win the day. Voss shows how emotions drive decisions. A good negotiator learns to understand and influence these emotions. Think about the last time you convinced someone. Chances are, their feelings played a big role in their decision, even if they claimed it was all about logic. To navigate these emotions, Voss shares a technique called tactical empathy. This means deeply understanding the other person's perspective. You don't have to agree with them, but you need to show that you get where they're coming from. For example, if someone is upset about a policy change at work, saying, "It seems like this change makes your job a lot harder," can diffuse tension. They feel heard and respected, which opens the door to real dialogue. Another essential tool is labeling. Labeling is when you name the other person's feelings. For example, in a tense situation, you might say, "It sounds like you're frustrated about this decision." Labeling emotions helps reduce their intensity. It shows the other person you're paying attention, which builds trust. In current times, when misunderstandings are common, this simple act can transform a conversation. The book also highlights the power of mirroring. Mirroring is repeating the last few words the other person said, often as a question. For instance, if someone says, "I'm not sure we can meet that deadline," you respond with, "Meet that deadline?" This encourages them to explain further, giving you more insight into their concerns. It's a small but powerful way to keep conversations flowing. A critical moment in any negotiation is uncovering the other party's why. Voss introduces the idea of asking calibrated questions. These are open-ended questions that make the other person think and share more. Instead of asking, "Can you do this for me?" you might ask, "How can we solve this problem together?" These questions shift the dynamic, making the other person a partner in finding a solution. Voss stresses the importance of listening, really listening. He calls this the art of listening to what's not being said. Often, people reveal their fears, hopes, or motivations in subtle ways. A good negotiator pays attention to these cues. For example, a hesitation before answering might signal doubt or concern. In today's fast-paced world, where people often multitask during conversations, giving someone your full attention is a rare and powerful gesture. The book dives into the concept of a no. Many people fear hearing no in a negotiation, but Voss argues that no isn't the end. It's the beginning of a real conversation. When someone says no, they feel in control. It's an opportunity to dig deeper and understand their objections. For instance, if a client says, "No, this price is too high," you can respond, "What about the price feels too high?" This invites them to explain, giving you a chance to address their concerns. Negotiation isn't just about winning. It's about making the other person feel they've won too. Voss introduces the idea of creating an illusion of control. This happens when you let the other person feel they're steering the conversation. For example, instead of saying, "We need this done by Friday," you could ask, "What would it take to get this done by Friday?" The question empowers them while still moving toward your goal. In the book, Voss shares a memorable story about a kidnapping case. The FBI had to negotiate with a dangerous criminal holding hostages. Instead of issuing demands, the negotiators used empathy and carefully crafted questions to build rapport. Over time, they persuaded the criminal to release the hostages safely. The stakes in everyday negotiations might not be life and death, but the principles remain the same. Understanding the other side and guiding them toward a solution is key. Another powerful concept in the book is the black swan. A black swan is an unexpected piece of information that changes everything. Voss teaches us to look for these hidden details during negotiations. They often hold the key to success. For example, in a job interview, you might learn the company is under pressure to fill the position quickly. This knowledge becomes your advantage, allowing you to negotiate better terms. The book also discusses using deadlines wisely. Deadlines can create urgency, but they can also backfire if used poorly. Voss warns against letting deadlines pressure you into bad deals. Instead, he suggests using them as tools to guide the conversation. For instance, if you're negotiating rent with a landlord, you might say, "I'd like to finalize this by the weekend to plan my move." This sets a timeline without making you seem desperate. In today's digital age, where much of our communication happens through email or text, Voss shares tips for these mediums too. He emphasizes being clear and concise while maintaining a warm tone. For example, starting an email with, "I hope this finds you well," sets a friendly tone. Then, using calibrated questions like, "What's the biggest challenge we can help solve for you?" invites collaboration. One of the most practical tools in the book is the Ackerman Model. This is a strategy for bargaining that uses calculated offers. You start by deciding your target price. Then, you make an initial offer at 65% of that price. From there, you increase in smaller increments, 70%, 80%, 90%, until you reach your target. At each step, you explain your reasoning, which makes your offers seem thoughtful and fair. The book ends with a reminder that negotiation isn't about manipulation. It's about connection and understanding. Voss encourages readers to practice these skills in everyday life. Whether it's persuading your teenager to do their homework or closing a business deal, the principles remain the same. In a world where conflict often seems unavoidable, Never Split the Difference offers hope. It shows that with the right tools, we can turn disagreements into opportunities for growth. We can build stronger relationships while achieving our goals. The lessons are timeless, rooted in human nature, yet perfectly suited for today's challenges. So next time you're in a negotiation, remember, it's not just about winning. It's about making both sides feel heard and valued. Use empathy, ask great questions, and listen deeply. You might be surprised at what you can achieve.